Good evening, and welcome to another exciting adventure of Sherlock Holmes on Mystery. I'm Vincent Price. Sherlock Holmes is not only the most admired and best documented detective, it is often being claimed that Hamlet, Robinson Crusoe, and Sherlock Holmes are the most universally known fictional characters. Soon after the first of the adventures appeared in the famous Strand magazine in the 1890s, translations became available throughout Europe. In France and Germany, tales of the great detective entertained an early vogue. Germans called these memoirs, which Dr. Watson recorded, Watsonische Chronologie Problem. Today, Conan Doyle's tales of Sherlock Holmes are printed in more than 40 languages. All of the familiar ones, as well as Eskimo, Esperanto, Basuto, Afrikaans, and shorthand. The Japanese edition of The Hound of the Baskervilles quickly became a collector's item. It's not surprising that at last count, Conan Doyle's estate was drawing royalties from 72 different currencies. Adrian Conan Doyle stated with pride that his father's sales of Sherlock Holmes books are second only to the Bible. But the history of Holmes in Russia is one of the best illustrations of his popularity. In 1908, a British minister traveling in Russia wrote to the London Times that the peasants, upon recognizing his British accent, kept repeating, "Sherlock Holmes, Sherlock Holmes," the only English words they knew. Pre-revolutionary army authorities recommended Conan Doyle's stories as good, solid reading for Russian soldiers. Soviet authorities agree with their Tsarist predecessors, and Russian soldiers today are still given Sherlock Holmes to read in volumes emanating from the Red Army Publishing House. You know, as the Victorian period was fast becoming a new mechanical age, Holmes depended solely on his brain and found little use for the new inventions which were bursting upon the scene almost daily. The telegraph and the telephone were new. People were marveling at the gramophone and the typewriter. The bicycle was perfected during the 1870s and 80s and was hailed as an instrument of new freedom. Unfortunately, that new freedom was not shared by everyone, as Holmes is to find out in The Adventures of the Solitary Cyclist.